Yeah, so that is interesting on the New Jersey Devils side of things for like their future, their long term. I think Severson's probably going to be gone. So when you look at balance, as I've talked about, Siegenthaler and Marino, really good defensively. You have Hamilton in there. So long term, if Luke Hughes is in there, I think Siegenthaler, for example, could balance Hamilton really well. And Luke Hughes could be a good balance with Marino. I think Marino doesn't bring much offensively. Luke Hughes, we know what he can do in skating ability. I think he'd be a really good partner for Marino. And then Siegenthaler Hamilton would be really good. And then bottom pair, you'd have options for the Devils. So I think overall, I think the Devils, they got to figure out their goaltending situation for the long term. What's going to be Mackenzie Blackwood's future with the Devils? Do they have trust that Vanacek can be something for that team? So to answer your question, Raniel, how do I think the Devils are going to do this year in comparison to other like teams like the Rangers and Islanders in that division? And I mean, I think we're pretty confident looking at teams like Carolina, Washington, and Pittsburgh. They're going to be good this year for sure in the season. I would expect the Rangers to be back in the playoffs, and if that's the case, if those four teams I just mentioned, I mean, Islanders have it tough, Devils have it tough in the short term. So the Devils they also just drafted Nemec too, right? So where will Nemec fit in long term? I don't know what his timeline's going to be. So for example, if Nemec comes in and, like, as I said, plays, I don't know, third pair to start, because, I mean, that's kind of what we usually see with defensemen. You don't just throw them into the top pair. I mean, if you have an experience with Dougie Hamilton up top, you want to balance it out. But, I mean, at some point, guys, in 3, 4, 5 years, could we see a Luke Hughes and Nemec pair? Maybe. I definitely think maybe we could see that potential. But Luke Hughes, Nemec, Hamilton, Siegenthaler, Marino, like, the Devils are growing a really good defensive core. And thank you, Richard, for that, because I was just thinking of what they have in terms of what we've seen showcase, and obviously Nemec not being in the World Juniors, I'm excited to see what he can do on a bigger stage for all of us to see. But just looking at Nemec as a defenseman, I mean, Nemec could be such a rare find, and they already have such a rare gem in Luke Hughes, and we're seeing what Luke Hughes can do for Team USA in the World Juniors. His skating ability is going to be insane, and if it translates to the NHL. A top four, that includes Luke Hughes, as I said, Luke Hughes, Nemec, and Dougie Hamilton. That is going to be ridiculous in 2, 3, 4 years. 5 years when, as I said, Hughes and Nemec are entering their primes. So let me know what you guys think on the Devils, though. I mean, the Devils are such an interesting team. As I said, if they figure out their goaltending situation, I think with their growing forward group, I think they felt pressured to give Palat that contract. As I said, I think the Devils, I could still see them targeting a JT Miller. I don't know if that's the best call just in terms of like his age and what his contract demands. And I know the Devils want to be good now, but with guys like Luke Hughes and Nemec, you want to have your timeline fit those guys as well. You want to have your timeline fit like, okay, the Devils could be really good in the late 2020s, like 2024, 2025 and on. That second half of the 2020 decade, the Devils could be ridiculous. And you don't want to rush that and giving away assets. So, I mean, when we think about other pieces in the Devils organization, starting with the guys they have right now, up the middle, Jack Hughes, Nico Hischier. You look at guys that they have on the wing right now, Andre Palat, Bratt. Will Bratt stay there long term? That's been a good conversation. Miles Wood, Sharon Govich, Dawson Mercer, wherever he'll play. That's really solid in terms of wingers for the future. But then even past that, more so, you have younger guys, younger prospects that I'm really, like Holtz, I've been high on from the get-go. Really excited to see what Alexander Holtz can be. I think he could end up being a stud, but at the very least, he'll be another really good top six winger. So with Holtz, Bratt, Sharon Govich, those three guys down for the future for the Devils, along with Hughes and Hischier. Still, like, we'll see what a Nolan Foote does. I think that's kind of another intriguing piece. I think when they got him through trade, because he was drafted by the Tampa Bay Lightning, so they got him in that Blake Coleman trade. Nolan Foote has shown flashes, and he had a decently productive year last year in the AHL, but I think in a year or two, we're going to really start seeing Nolan Foote as he's getting in more into his 20s. Like he's 20, or 20 or 21 right now, I think, maybe turning 22. But Nolan Foote also could be an interesting piece for the Devils. So in terms of trades, I mean, they could target a JT Miller. I just don't know if it's the best fit in terms of the window they have with guys like Holtz, Hughes, and Nemec and guys like that. So really interesting. And as I said, the goaltending conversation will be on the forefront for the Devils with Blackwood and Vanacek right there. Will they make a change or will they take their chances? I don't know. But the Blackwood one, I mean, what happened during the vid and all that stuff, I don't know. But I'm intrigued by the Devils, man. They have the growing pieces together. And I think they're gonna have one of the better defensive cores. And I mean, when we go back to the early 2000s and the defense that the Devils had, I mean, this is going to be such a different kind of defense the Devils will have in terms of ceiling and in terms of creativity, in terms of IQ, in terms of pure skill, and guys like Luke Hughes and Nemec, and then having, I would say, easily a top 20 defenseman in Dougie Hamilton, wherever you want to rank him, top 20, top 25, easily. The Devils are going to be so intriguing coming up, and even if it's not this year or next, as I said, late 2020s, they're going to be a team to watch out for.